What's up, guys? Welcome back to the JP and Trav show on the JP and Trav YouTube channel. As always, your host with the most, JP. And to the right, I have my esteemed brother, co-host, and friend, Travis J. Davison. Travis, how you doing, man?
I was good, man. I was cooking dinner. I cooked myself some delicious, like, jalapeno chicken and broccoli, and I mean it was delicious. I got done with the gym. It was a nice evening until I opened Twitter and realized that I could have just cooked my I just could have cooked my dinner on all the Dylan Gabriel jerseys that were on fire because of some conjecture. Like, oh my God. Like, OU Twitter needs their pound of flesh so badly. Like, if it's not Bill Bedenbaugh, it's not Reginald Green, which obviously I took a shot at and muted that conversation immediately. And then, like, if it's not that, it's Bedenbaugh, it's Ted Roof, it's Jeff Levy, it's Dylan Gabriel. Like, bro, it's simply wild. So, again, the Dylan Gabriel stuff is conjecture. If you're cursing him, then fine. I know I'm going to be in Eugene on our bye week watching Ohio State play Oregon and supporting Dylan Gabriel. So y'all can burn all your bucket hats too.
Yeah, there's a lot, Travis, that has happened.
Also, donate to them.
Yes.
Cream NIL. That's part of the reason Danny and Billy are coming back. So, cheers, Crimson and Cream NIL. And they put a big old offer out for Caden Green, which means they could probably put a big old offer out for anybody else. So, make sure that, boom, right there. Cheers.
That's right. You're not lacking for money. That wasn't the issue. Yeah, there's been so much that's happened in the last week. I mean, you talk about
so much stuff.
Dylan Gabriel leaving. You talk about Andrew Raym saying he's gone, leaving. Savion Byrd. We could talk about Danny coming back, Billy coming back. Obviously, the Caden Green situation. You also pick up Deion Burks in the portal. You pick up the running back from UT Martin in the portal. DeJoun Terry said he's coming back tonight as well. There's just a lot that has happened, and it's hard to keep up with it. But let's obviously the biggest topic at hand has to do with one Caden Green, and this whole situation that now is taking a fresh turn to the pitchforks that OU fans already really had a lot of them for Dylan Gabriel because they never really, a lot of them really liked him, didn't think that much of him, thought he was mid. And so now I feel like this is just giving them that fuel. And at this point, like you said, just an unsubstantiated rumor that, necessarily hasn't become true. It's something that's just speculation. And I would just advise OU fans to hold off. Like, if that's what comes out, that's what happens. Like, and it turns out Dylan Gabriel did some shady stuff. Hold him accountable then if that's what happened. But like, from what I understand, that's not like it was more of this is what we believe would be the potential. Go between who would be the potential go between because obviously Dylan just went out there, and I don't know, man. It just
and Dylan hasn't moved yet. Like Dylan's still in town. Dan Lanning was in Katy Paytow seeing David Hicks Sr. He was in Durant, Oklahoma, seeing Zadavian Sims, taking pictures at C4. And he could have been in Norman seeing his quarterback that just committed to him. So that's the thing. It is what it is. There were two parts, I believe. And again, I am truly sorry for Scoop. I know this is behind a paywall, but it kept getting sent to me. People have posted all over the timeline. I haven't posted anywhere, but said, I believe that Oregon has talked to the Greens, and it is believed that Dylan is the main go-through. Those are two different actions that happen, both that are believed by Kerry. Now, Kerry has been in this game forever. And like Scoot people and I have our differences for sure.
Mhm.
But like I think Kerry does a good job. I don't think Kerry puts out complete BS. Kerry's fine. So he's been doing this a really long time, and I think he understands that a report like that, what would come along with it. I mean, we're already on message board geniuses, Great job, everybody. So, but that's the thing. It's people needed to direct their hate somewhere, and the problem you brought it up, JP, and it was really smart to bring it up. It only emboldens people that had other reasons not to like somebody.
Yeah.
Like when Caden Green left, all the Bill Bedenbaugh haters were calling for his job. We're calling for Bill Bedenbaugh to get fired.
Dog. I had so many arguments, Trev.
I know, I saw him. But people know where I stand on Bill, and I'm not gonna. I would wear holes in my iPhone if I were having to argue with everybody. But that's the thing. Bill Bedenbaugh haters saw Caden Green leave, and they're like, "Here's my chance to really fire up the fan base and hate Bill Bedenbaugh." Same thing with Jeff Lebby haters. Whenever it got reported that he was trying to, by Greg Swain of all people, Swain. Oh, they're putting together a package for Jackson Arnold to come, which again they can't do. It's like, oh, I told you, Jeff Lebby, I didn't like that, blah blah blah. It's like, okay, you didn't like his play calling, but now you're emboldening people. Like you didn't like Bill Bedenbaugh, so now Caden Green leaving, we need to fire him. Like you didn't like Dillon Gabriel because you thought he was overthrowing or he was underthrowing deep balls, so now he's a slimy. What did I see him called? A slimy. Like Tua wannabe or something like that, like character issues. He's always had character issues, like all this kind of stuff. Like, dog, where is this coming from? Like, it's just people use stuff like this to try and push their stuff, and then they come out looking stupid. The people that were hating on Bill Bedenbaugh to then find out Bill Bedenbaugh had nothing to do with this whatsoever. Like, people said it's a fireable offense for Caden Green to not be on this. Like, fireable offense. Oh boy, he hasn't recruited well lately, but Bill Bedenbaugh doesn't sign checks. It is what it is. So I think he'll do well in the portal because he always does. Because if you ask, I know we're jumping all over the place, but if you ask incoming transfer portal players why they chose Oklahoma, they say, well, Bedenbaugh puts dudes in the league. Like people after they get to high school, like if you're like a 5-star kid or high rated 4-star, you think you can go anywhere and go to the NFL. Anywhere. So you go anywhere and take a bag. It's fine. I'm so good, I'm going to go to the league. Well, once you get a little further into your career and you go, I need to be coached by somebody that puts people in the league. Once you grow up and mature a little bit and kind of get over your ego, you say, man, that Bill Bedenbaugh has put, 13 dudes in the league in the last 11 years? Like, he's about to have 3 more drafted this year, 1 in the first round, back-to-back first round. Like, they see that and they say, oh, we'll go get coached by that guy. Mm-hmm. So that's why, I think when you're dealing with a bit more mature people in the portal, I think that's right up Bill's alley. And I think Bill will land probably 2 more offensive linemen in the portal. I really want that North Texas kid, a freshman All-American. I think redshirt freshman, but he was a freshman All-American. Seth Luttrell recruited him. I think Bedenbaugh will put a good line out in 2024 because he's put a good line out every year that he's been here. The only year that it wasn't that great, it was 2019, and Benny Wiley had all of our offensive linemen shaped like distance runners instead of linemen. So it is what it
is. Yeah, it's been a task and a chore, and I hate when OU Twitter gets like this because OU Twitter at its best, like we're against other people. We're holding them to task for some stupid stuff they've said. But OU Twitter at its worst is like we get pitted against each other because we have some just fans that just get super and I mean super emotional. And Trav, we've talked about this ad nauseum, especially in some of our me and Trav's just personal conversations off air. But like, there's just a lot of people who like OU football is their life, like it's their personality. And Trav and I talk about this all the time. Like Trav is blessed, now to like he gets to do radio, and he has all these relationships that he's built. And I'm blessed to, be able to do this podcast and be able to have the platform I do on Twitter. Like, and that's well and good. But Travis has a business outside of OU football, and has relationships outside of OU football. I'm an athletic director outside of OU football, and like I have a wife and a family. Like that's not everything. And so this is like fun for us. We get to do this, and why we've done the show for 2 years. But like I feel like we get fans that like they get so invested, and it's a good and a bad thing. It's good that they're so invested, but then this is the negative because then you get like just crazy and insane stuff said, like that anybody and that anybody, Travis, would say that Bill Bedenbaugh should be thought about being let go
No,
because
not even thought about. Bill Bedenbaugh should be fired. Fireable offense.
it's that gets said is truly insane, and that people are just sitting over here like we've talked about it before. Like, could the recruiting be a little better? Sure. Like, and we've talked about it on the show. Does it have to do
Yeah.
with Bill's? Does it have to do with Bill's, process? Yes, but like, does it really matter if he's producing? Like we've said that over and over again. Like if he puts guys in the league, Anton first round pick last year, Wanye third round pick who's starting now for the Chiefs, like with Creed Humphrey at center, that is going to be another All Pro this year, and Orlando Brown in Cincinnati that is an All Pro and is on his second major contract, and Ben Powers who's in Denver and just signed a major contract with them. Like I don't get it. Guyton probably will get drafted in the first 2 rounds. Rouse is probably
He'll go
gonna be.
first round. But here's the thing. While you're listening to all those guys, one, they get to their second contract, which is important. Two, it's the world we live in today of recruiting services. I love recruiting services.
Yeah.
I think they're awesome. Like I have a blast covering recruiting, following recruiting, getting to know recruits, getting to know their families, like getting to know their stories and where they come from. And literally, I know my Texas State geography based on college football recruiting because I know where kids play their high school ball. So I now I know the state of Texas's geography. Like it's a blast. But the thing is, if you didn't know, like back in the day, like you would just know, oh, who's on the team this year? I don't know. Let's look at the program. Let's look at the roster. Who's on the team? Oh, some freshmen. Where's he from? Oh, cool. Oh, he's big. Cool. See how that goes. And then you look out there and you say, man, this offensive line's really good again for the 10th year in a row. Sounds pretty good. But the problem is people are now prioritizing recruiting, like offensive line recruiting over offensive line production.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest problem is because we're wrapped up so much in recruiting, like, well, Bill Bedenbaugh, I know he keeps putting dudes in the NFL. I know we keep on having one of the most potent offenses year in and year out, and that all starts up front. But what the hell, man? He couldn't get Grant Bricks to leave his family. What's going on here? We got to get rid of the dude. Like I hope he does recruit better, but I think 2025's loaded. I think he's going to do well. And I think recruiting rankings have shown us it's really tough to evaluate offensive linemen.
Yeah.
Bray Walker's at Texas State right now. Like Nate Anderson transferred out. Savion Byrd might transfer out. I think they're trying to get him to stay now. Caden Green obviously transferred out, but Anton went to pros. Like it's just Bill Bedenbaugh has 1 5-star to his name, and he never saw the field and went to Texas State. Like these recruiting services, they rank people often on camps. A lot of it is camps, and a lot of it is how they look against their high school competition. Well, a lot of these dudes are just so big and strong, they just manhandle all the competition across from us. It doesn't matter. It's communication. It's brains. How do you work within a scheme? Can you pick stuff up? Like, so I don't want to turn this into a full blown, you know, Bill Bedenbaugh resume night because he doesn't need that. He doesn't need that from us. His bosses think he's doing a good job. All of the NFL coaches that draft his players think he's doing a good job. Jim Nagy, who runs the Senior Bowl and invites OU offensive linemen literally every single year, says he's doing a good job. Like, all the important people in Bill Bedenbaugh's life think he's doing a bang-up job, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, but Sooner fan 5966 on Twitter says that, well, what about the SEC in 2024? Doesn't matter what he's done in the past. Okay. Yep. Let's just erase every draft pick that he's developed. Doesn't matter. What's going on right now? We have no offensive linemen. There's no offensive lineman rostered on Oklahoma's. Bruh.
Well, it's like that blue blood bias account that said, OU in trouble? Now that since the transfer portal is open, OU's returning 0 starting offensive linemen. Yeah, because 1 transferred out. It's hard to return starting offensive linemen if 4 of them declare for the draft.
Thank you.
I mean, that's the goal, isn't it?
Yeah, and then the goal to have linemen get drafted. Like it was gonna. That's why I was saying like it was gonna happen anyway. Everybody's like, well, now we're going into the SEC with 9. I'm like, okay, even if we had Caden Green, even if he stayed, let's just say he stayed, that gives you 1 guy that started the last half of the year. And I get Caden Green's great. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying here. Like he is great, and we believe he will be great, right? Even better than he was now. Like then that's why this whole thing sucks. However, if you're gonna tell me that like having that 1 guy stay was gonna make that big of a difference with you have 4 other spots to fill, miss me with that because 1 guy does not make that big of a difference on a 5-man offensive line.
That's what's so funny is before Caden Green left, everybody was like, all right, we need to pick up a couple offensive linemen in the portal. Now, Caden Green, 1 guy left, 20% of your line left, and we get a running back. Well, can he play offensive line? We get a wide receiver. Doesn't matter. Don't have an offensive line. We get anything else that happens is just, well, we don't have an offensive line. Nobody was saying that before Caden Green entered the portal. 1 of our guys entered the portal, and everybody's like, well, we just don't have an offensive line anymore. We don't have a 2 deep anymore.
I'm like, positions, Travis. He was going to play all 5 positions.
He's good. Don't get me wrong. The football team will miss Caden Green. He is a very good player.
Yes.
Very good player. And Shane Lewis might bring up the best point of the night. Everybody go hit the like button. Actually, Shane Lewis said go hit the like button. Shane was so excited he forgot the word body. Or maybe Shane was just making a point about our offensive line is we got no bodies.
We don't. There's nobody. Jacob Sexton's not there. Either Zetta's not there. We have nobody that's going to be. Troy Everett's still not there. I mean, yeah, we don't have anybody, Trav. There's 0 people. So, State Five's been talking about.
I do think we have a lot of wide receivers.
Oh, yeah, tons.
Like we got a lot of wide receivers.
Yeah, Ether.
Yeah.
He's been at work. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, he's putting in work. He's just go get Isaiah Mosey. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, Burks might be our best receiver next year. That dude is so good.
We're gonna be locked in, dude. We're gonna be like so deep. And
So let's realistically think about this. Okay, so I think we get 3 transfers.
Mm-hmm.
We've already got a tackle. I think we take 2 interior guys.
Yeah.
I think that Troy Everett is your starter at center. He's too small to play guard, but centers are smaller than guards and obviously smaller than tackles. So
he starts over Bates.
Yes, he was just because he was a freshman All-American
mm-hmm.
at center when he was at App State. And
we don't have anybody though, Travis. Sorry,
but he was a freshman All-American when he was at App State, playing at center.
Yeah,
he was good enough to where we could move him to guard because he had experience and he had that versatility. I think he's best at center, but he wasn't going to play over Rame for obvious reasons. It was Rame's last year. So I think Everett is your starting center. I love Josh Bates, but I think you needed to bring in a backup center for Rame because Josh Bates was going to be a true freshman. And if Rame gets hurt and you go to a true freshman at the center, that would have been tough.
Yeah.
So Everett was brought in to be a center. Let him be a center. I think you start either Jake Taylor and a transfer at guard or a transfer and a transfer at guard. And then you go Jacob Sexton on one side and Spencer Brown on the other as your tackles.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So that's what I would say. I think Sexton has a chance to be a first-round pick. He was going to be the starter this year. We probably wouldn't have even got Walter Rouse had Sexton not got injured in Orlando. So, with that, you've got an NFL tackle. We'll see what Biedenbow can do with Spencer Brown. I think Everett's a guy that can get drafted as a center. Again, freshman All-American. I mean, there's no reason to believe that he can't grow into that. And then if that North Texas guard comes over, I'm not even going to try his name. But, I mean, that guy was a freshman All-American. You plug him in at guard, and then we've got the Michigan State guard that's also visiting. You know, with Caden gone, who knows if Basante from Texas A&M is an option? Who knows? But it's we'll be fine. Bill Biedenbow's coaching the offensive line. It's the same thing. It's going to be the same thing I say with Emmett Jones. It's going to say, "Hey, what do we think about the wide receivers this year? Hey, is Emmett Jones still the coach at Oklahoma? Wide receivers? Yeah, okay. No, we're good. Wide receiver room's good. Like, don't have to worry about it. But yeah, Jimmy says Everett needs to get stronger. I agree. I think he will too. I also think being at center, you're gonna be smaller. Not saying that he shouldn't be stronger, but he'll be another year with Schmitty, and he's a good size for a center. So another year with Schmitty, another offseason, and getting first-team reps with center. A lot of the strength stuff comes with the confidence in being in the right place. So, John Reed brings up a good point. I like me some Heath Ozaida too. He came in young, though. I think he's still 18. But that's a big fella too. I like him a lot. Yeah, EPL will compete for some playing time early. That's a ready-made body, ready-made athlete. Telling you what, look at Sooner Cowboys just coming in with the calm voice.
Yeah, that's
Sooner Cowboys MO. That's Sooner Cowboys MO. The Sooner Cowboys often puts his arms around us, gives us a big hug, and says, "You know what? We're good, boys."
Very, very often. Yeah.
That's all he does.
Yeah.
Big old bear hug from Sooner Cowboys. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah. Kirby, on the other hand, is always the sky is falling.
Yeah. Hey, man.
That 3-star British dude. Who knows who that guy is? You know.
Right.
But it's cool.
Yeah. It's, again, Bill Biedenbow coaching at Oklahoma. We're going to be fine.
Yep. I agree. It's just, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy. The fan base is just up in arms, going at DG. And I just hope that, well, not like, obviously, I hope that, and obviously, like you said, Kerry's not, probably blowing smoke. I would hope it's not, and I don't think it's certainly in Dylan's character to do anything malicious, with that, other than, hey, if it's just hey, there's this number type of thing, like that is what it is. And certainly, like, if it's after he's already in the portal, like, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
That's fair game at that point. But yeah, we'll just see where it goes from here. Let's talk about some positive things, Trav. You get Danny Stutzman back. In huge, just fashion. Billy Bowman was obviously just very Billy Bowman-esque, like coming back, great, awesome. And then Danny, all the pomp and circumstance, you know,
Yeah.
reported correctly that he told Brent that he was leaving again by Scoop, and
Which again, it's true.
yeah,
Danny did tell him that.
he told him that.
Like, and I think, like, I know Parker was taking a couple shots at that, having some fun with it. Here's the thing. Scoop reported that Danny told Brent Venables he was leaving for the NFL.
Hmm.
That's what they reported, and that's what happened. They were completely in their right to report it. It's what happened. At the same time, Williams Nwaneri told the OU coaching staff that he was going to be a Sooner. One was treated much differently than the other. And that's Parker's that's Parker's beef with that, I think, is, oh, I reported that, and since it didn't go that way, I get drug across the coals for leading the fan base on, even though Williams Nwaneri did tell the coaching staff that he was going to be a Sooner. So as far as the Scoop stuff with Danny, I think they reported exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And it's been confirmed that that's what happened from them. The head coach told them that. Danny has said that. Steve has said that. I mean, all that. It's all good. And then everybody wants to argue about who reported what, why, when, where, how. Let's just be happy Danny and Billy are back, man. That's massive.
It's huge. It's huge. But OU's gonna go into the SEC cowering, apparently, even though you get 2 All-Americans back.
Man, 2 All-Americans on defense. Here's the thing. What's crazy is, like, I don't remember the last time. Chat might have to help me out on this, guys. I would appreciate it. The last time that OU had 2 All-Americans on defense. I mean, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
It doesn't jump. I'm not sure. It doesn't jump to mind. Now, the last time Oklahoma had 2 defensive All-Americans and then JP, both of them returned. I mean,
It'll be a long time.
08? Maybe, like it's been at least 15 years. Maybe. The Jared didn't return that year.
Yeah, that's right.
Harold didn't return that year. But that's that might be the case. Man, I was really hoping Travis Lewis would make in the NFL. Damn injuries.
Boomer was cracking me up. Did you see this?
It has created a lot of casualties.
Yeah.
Got a lot of different personalities going at it, and there's this weird, like, journalistic integrity, but also we're going to shit post and subtweet. Like, it's just a rotating door of you never know what to expect. But that's the thing. It's getting 2 defensive All-Americans to return to an OU team. I don't remember the last time it's happened, and I don't think it happens without Brent Venables, and it doesn't happen without Crimson and Cream Collective, Crimson Cream NIL. Boom. For those of you that don't think your $10 a month is going to make a difference, imagine how many people are thinking that. There's probably 1,000 of you thinking that. $10,000 a month, that'll get the job done for a lot of these boys.
Yeah.
So, but otherwise, we've had some good portal additions.
Yeah.
I mean, like contributors. So you've got a corner that 6'2", 200 pounds. I mean, PFF had him higher rated than Kenai Walker and Woody Washington on coverage. Good corner. OU, like Jay Valai immediately identified him as somebody he was after. So love that. Obviously, you get your running back, which is, here's what's funny to me, JP. and it's a little bit Sunshine Pumper-ish. It's not full blown, but it's got some characteristics of it. A lot of people were really pissed off that Tawee Walker didn't get the ball more. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Tawee Walker had 0 FBS offers. DeMarco essentially called an old buddy of his, an old coach in Las Vegas, said, "Hey, who you got that can go?" He said Tawee. Tawee shows up, and people are wondering why we're not giving Tawee the ball more. Meanwhile, some of those same people see an FCS back who has offers from University of Southern California, Arkansas, Cal, South Carolina, all these places. And they're like, FCS back, what are we doing here? It's like, dude, this guy's far more sought after than Tawee was, and y'all were begging for him to get the ball more.
Yep.
Like, this dude can go. Average, 6.2 yards a carry on 1,300 yards? Like, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So, Tim, I'm not 100% sure. I think it might be a situation where he may not. I think I've seen Nebraska, Wisconsin, I think, showed interest. I think he may not be getting the interest that he thinks he should be getting quite yet. And I don't think a player in his position is going to waste practices.
Yeah.
And you can always come back out of the portal. I mean, maybe Dalen Smothers opened up a scholarship. Who knows? Maybe, what, and I know there are other scholarships going, but Tawee could absolutely get a scholarship. But I think if somebody, when he got in the portal, they were like, "Hey, we need you here on a visit. We've got this set up for you, blah, blah." Maybe it would have been another situation, like a Key Lawrence situation, where it's like, "Hey, I'm already committed to another team. Like, I'm obviously not playing in the bowl." Like, I think that would have been that situation. So yeah. I think it's smart for Tawee to play. But again, Franklin is he's a productive back that a lot of schools wanted. USC, Arkansas. Go watch the quote tweets on the OU Insider. OU Insider broke this one. I've given Scoop love on the pod. I'm going to give OU Insider love too. They broke it. So all the Arkansas, sidelines Arkansas, and all these big Arkansas accounts were like, dang, like we really wanted this guy. Like this guy, they wanted him to replace Rocket Sanders. So it's like, that's a really good pickup.
Yeah.
Spencer Brown, Michigan State was like, ugh, he was no good for us. He started 2 full seasons, and he's got good size. And I don't even know who Michigan State's offensive line coach is, but I'm willing to bet Bill Bedenbaugh's better. So Bill Bedenbaugh identified him very early in the portal and said, "That's the guy I want. I can make something out of that guy. That's who I need to tackle." And he went and got him. So with that, we've got obviously I buried the lead a little bit. Best player in the portal, best wide receiver in the portal. Emmett Jones went and got him. Just nobody remembers it because Caden Green news hit later that day.
Yep.
So poor guy, but he's going to be a stud. He can take the top off. He can make tough catches. I mean, his film is crazy. So I think that we've made a great haul in the portal so far. I do think we get 2 more offensive linemen. I would love just to get the guard from Michigan State and the North Texas guard. If you get those 2, you're done. Go into 2024 with what you got. Sooner Cowboys, again, the ray of sunshine, the comforting voice we need in these times. Sooner Cowboys says Dejon Terry coming back is huge news. Absolutely it is. Absolutely he is. I mean, that's a guy that came in from Tennessee, our biggest body we had. And he gets another year with Schmitty. He was great on the interior. And if you just look at sacks and whatnot, you're not going to think that. But that's not what you look at when it comes to interior defensive linemen. But he's important, man. He's a good, experienced SEC body. He's played in the SEC before, and he gets another year with us. Gets another year with Bates. So, absolutely big time. So, the other Makuba, he's a Longhorn. I don't know why you would really bring him in. Like, I get that he's been productive at Clemson, but I think Billy's better than him. I know Billy's better than him. Do you really want to take snaps away from Peyton Bowen?
Facts.
I don't. I don't want to take snaps away from RSJ either. You've got years more of RSJ. You'd be trading him in for a rental because I think RSJ would hit the portal if you bring him Makuba. If Harrington gets his med shirt, which I think he should.
He better.
I mean, you got Justin Harrington, who would have been starting Cheetah this year. Got Michael Boganowski coming in. Kendall Dolby played really good at Cheetah last year. I mean, Deshaun McCullough played at Cheetah last year. Peyton Bowen played Cheetah last year. So as far as Makuba, I don't think I know he's a good player. I think his best days are probably his best college days maybe are a little behind him. But I think he ends up at Texas or LSU. LSU's making that push. Fabechi, yes, Jeff CCR, the North Texas kid. That's what I was thinking. Kirby, I'm not sure if that's who you were thinking about from Clemson. Was Makuba? He's a safety. If you're thinking about Pride, he already committed to Missouri. He had a no tag going into the portal. Yes, we need a tight end. I would be shocked if Sawchuk went in the portal. Again, anything's possible, but if anybody were to go in the portal, I would assume it'd be Barnes over Sawchuk. But I don't think Barnes enters the portal either. I think Sawchuk is your starter next year. Like I think he's your leader in the clubhouse.
I don't know why he would. I mean,
and he's on a great streak, 4 straight 100-yard games. Like, I think they're happy.
I feel like everybody's sensitive because of what happened with Caden.
Like, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. I don't think that happens.
Worried about PJ hitting the portal to Missouri. Like, why? I don't.
How about here? I'll say this: you can't live scared. Like,
bro, we're Oklahoma. Dang it!
Like the Caden Green thing was weird, and part of the reason it was so jarring is because, like, that's never happened before. So you can't treat that like the rule going forward. And guess what? If PJ goes to Missouri, it's going to suck. I don't think he will. I have no reason to believe that he will. Is it possible in this day and age? Sure. But I'll tell you what, on December 14th at 9:43, I'm not sitting here worried about it. We got way more to worry about.
The Attleboroughies don't strike me like that. And I'm sure people felt like the Greens were not like that. But I mean, I'll just be honest, like the Nigerian background that they have, I just cannot see that being their, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like out of anybody, I know I have a bunch of Nigerian friends. Like, they're pretty big on their integrity. But that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm still wrapped up in the comments.
Oh, you're good.
But yeah, I agree. Like I said, if it happens, I have no reason to believe it's going to happen.
You have a pretty good defensive line class coming in, too.
You could also say that about everybody on the roster, too, right? Like,
Jackson's going to go.
Jackson's leaving. PJ's leaving. Peyton's leaving. Like, you can say that about everybody.
Nick Anderson's going to go to Texas.
If you can say it about Caden Green, you can say it about anybody. So, yeah. But I can't sit here and go down the roster and worry about every one of them. McClellan's taking his visits. I think that's probably wrapped up within the next week. I think he's probably a Sooner.
Mm.
I think so. I think it'd be a good pickup for us. He's big. You
Yeah.
need big bodies in there. Yeah, Sooner Cowboys. Makuba ain't going anywhere to be depth behind a freshman, or I guess Peyton played enough, so he'd be a sophomore. But it's hard to recruit players to be depth behind players younger than them. Let's see.
All right, guys, keep asking some questions. Fire away.
Yeah, there we go.
Who's going to Who's going to San Antonio? So I want to know. I want to be down there.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
trying to get Trav down there.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, I got to see if the radio sells me.
Yeah. Tony's last tweet is amazing. I need to see that.
What did he say?
I don't know. It's a good question. I'm gonna look it up. Any new portals headed this way?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it from a number standpoint, we'd probably add another 7 because we were going to add. BV said 27 in the class, which EPL would make 27, and then you've got. I think he said 10, right? 10 or 11 in the portal.
Mm-hmm.
But that was before Caden left. So you want to say that's 11 or 12. So probably unless you can flip McKinley or something like that, then I would assume that you're taking 11 in the portal. So say 7 more. So the 4 you got, and then if you add 2 more offensive linemen, that's 6. Add a tight end, that's 7. I mean, defensive line, the other 3.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you kind of got it right there. So I think we're down to Bauer and Holden stays. So but yeah, that San Antonio trip was a blast last time. I would love to go, but we'll see. It's such a good trip. I love that city.
San Antonio's cool. I've been there one time. Looking forward again. Yeah, Ryan, I'll be there.
I need to text. So Toby Baldwin and I talk a decent amount now. He's the OU director of NIL. For those of you that don't know, he was compliance. He was the one that took my tickets from me 2 years ago when we were down there. So I need to bring that back up to him since I'll be like, hey man, do you have my tickets from 2 years ago? I'll take those this year.
Hilarious.
Boomer 129 said it well. Like button, people. Let's see it. I'm gonna go check the like button. You got any bets right now?
I'm sure it's at like 35.
All right, I'm gonna roll to it. Like button 35. Let's see. Ooh. 35. Over. 44. Now 45.
Okay.
Let's see if we can get to 100 by the end.
We should be able to get to 100. We have more than
100
in here. So just like the button, guys, real quick. Boom, you're done. That's it.
We're gonna give everybody 30 seconds to like the button. We'll start at 45. 30 seconds. Go hit the like button.
Hit the like button, and I'll we'll just play some music, while we wait. All right, that 30-second ad was brought to you by Crimson and Cream NIL.
They don't know it, but they're sponsoring us.
All right.
All right. Well, John Morrow better make some burners. He already liked it once, he said. So appreciate those of you that did go like. We'll continue to keep that going. We still got 15 minutes on this show. We're going to keep on running that like up, no doubt. But that's what's interesting. Ryan Davis brings that point up. We need the Georgia boys, and and not specifically to the Georgia boys. I'm more so going back to the running back conversation. So Oregon had a running back hit the portal, and he's not very good, but he came from Oregon, and he had a lot of offers coming out of high school. He is not as good as Franklin, the one we got, but people see Oregon and they're like, bro, let's get that running back from Oregon. Like, he's just simply not as good. So, I mean, those Georgia guys could be wildly talented. But if they didn't work at Georgia, maybe they're stuck behind somebody. Sure. But just because they got recruited somewhere that's a big boy school doesn't mean that they turned out to be big boy players. They were big boy prospects, but it doesn't mean they turned out to be big boy players. I'm sure Texas State went nuts whenever they got, well, half our roster really, but Bray Walker, they probably went nuts. First 5-star in program history. Cool. New wide receiver hit portal this evening. Who?
Hey, the best offensive tackle in the league was a 3-star.
Okay? John, who are you talking about?
Went to OU. I don't want to hear it.
Who entered the portal?
I don't know if he meant like one of ours. I think he was just saying like another wide receiver. Right, John? I would assume. Just a wide receiver hit the portal. Which one are you talking about, though? Wasn't one of ours.
Like that.
You want got a temp on the David Hicks? I mean, apparently not.
If he's going to enter, he'll enter after the bowl.
Now, that's going to freak you fans out, though, Trav, because are we going to have our own players enter after the bowl?
I think the people that have entered, I think the only ones you'll see enter the portal from OU now really will be after spring, because spring is where you win the jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So is it possible that a linebacker that doesn't win the job opposite Danny, is it possible that they enter the portal? Sure, it's possible. Is it possible that a corner that, I mean, just think of what roughly our top 5 corners are right now. Our transfer, Gentry, Josiah, Macari, and Kanai. That's without knowing whether Woody's coming back. So one of those guys, you think Gentry's a lock. The transfer that came over, you'd think they probably gave him some type of assurance he'd at least be on the 2 deep. But one of Kanai, Josiah, and Macari is not going to be on the 2 deep at corner at the end of the spring. If Woody comes back, 2 of those guys aren't going to be on the 2 deep at corner. Does that give, those guys say, hey, man, look, I'm probably going to roll after the spring. So that's the thing is you've got to watch the position battles in the spring, and you've got to retain them again. So I don't think we see more entrances into the portal until then.
Are we going to lock on EPL, by the way?
I think so. I believe Parker had said that the UCF staff didn't make the in-home visit that they were supposed to make. I think they've pretty much given up. So,
it was between us.
Look at that.
It was between us and UCF then.
Yeah. So
Oregon and Miami were just
EPL should It looks like they folded their hands. So I'll tell you what, Bill Bedenbaugh coming through again. If you just pay attention to rivals, that's our highest rated offensive player.
I'm just going to I'm gonna quote tweet that and say Bill Bedenbaugh can't recruit tomorrow.
Oh God, you're just gonna pick more fights.
Yep.
See, Jacoby, yes, at corner, he could play safety. I mean, Jacoby can play anywhere he wants. If we didn't have 30 wide receivers, I would say they could be over there as well. But Jacoby, he's going to be too good to keep off the field too. But that's the thing. Like I said, it's, you know, who's the odd man out? I tend to agree with Jeff. I think Kanai might be the odd man out. The guy can play a lot of places, but I just don't know.
Do you see this Raiders and Chargers score?
I don't. Is the combined score over the number of likes we have?
Yes.
Everybody go check.
That's a fact. Yes, it is. Guess what the combined score is, Trav? Oh, there you go.
Oh, I did. Oh, geez.
Oh, wow. Not in the NFL.
That's rough.
Ooh, that is a lot.
I guess we found where Alex Grinch went.
Yeah.
70. Jeez.
Cole Brignac wants to talk about Jaden Jackson being IMG's defensive MVP. That was the tweet that David Stone had mentioned earlier.
Hey.
Over anybody.
Jaden Jackson, one of the more underrated players. And that's what's been cool is people being able to watch David Stone. They get to see Jaden Jackson too, being right next to him at IMG. That's a Bash Brothers type situation. Jaden's he plugs the inside. He is going to take over Dejon Terry's role.
Mm-hmm.
Really excited for him. Kenneth Murray just needs to come to Minnesota.
Yeah.
Who he beat earlier this year. He caught the game-winning interception against us earlier this year.
I didn't remember that.
Because I got beat by Baker and then beat by Kenneth Murray. It was hell.
Baker did beat you.
74. All right, we need 26 more likes, folks. What are we doing here?
What are we at?
26 more likes is what we need. There's 134 of y'all in here. I'm not that good at math, but I feel like if the people that are just in here watching like the video, we'll get to 100 likes.
That's it. Just like, I mean, it takes 2 seconds.
That's lie. No, that's lie. Jaden Rowe at corner. I get it, Rob. I want to play them all at corner. And for those of you that know me or have been watching the show for years, you know I'm a big Jaden Rowe guy. I was at his signing day. I've known him, his family. Big Jaden Rowe guy. Jaden Rowe probably played for men's hoops. He's that athletic.
Yeah.
God, Sooner Cowboys. He must have. I love it. He took some.
So positive today.
He got into the edible or something.
It's been a year of just like negativity, and I'm proud of you. I am. Welcome.
But I will say, yeah, that basketball team. I was, of course, here at Tulsa. That's right. It is the season. So, yeah, I was here at the BOK Center to watch OU run Musselman out of the gym. It was good, man. Like, it was like we were more athletic than them. And they got a bunch of NBA. I mean, they've got one true NBA guy in Brazil. And we might have a few. Like, we might have 3 NBA guys on this team. I know we got 2. But, yes.
Can you say that name, Travis? Try to say that name, please.
Pupangatoa. Yeah.
Pupangatoa. That's an all-time name.
Old PK. That's what I call him.
Old PK.
Old PK. Old big PK. He is a big fella, though.
A big boy, 6'5", 358. Yeesh.
I think he's like 2026, though, isn't he? Yeah, I think he's 2025. I think he's 2025 or 2026. He is he is big. So yeah, big pun. I like that.
Big pun.
OU finished with a top 5 recruiting class. Probably not. Rivals, it might get close. I think we'd have to flip McKinley to get there on Rivals. But he's pushing back till regular signing day. Back, growing up, the signing day we all paid attention to in February, not this early signing day stuff. But yeah, that kid's 2026. Homie's a sophomore. A sophomore at 6'5", 358. Good God. That's insane. But yeah, we'll finish in that meaty part between 6 and 8, which is good because if you keep up this transfer portal class, you'll finish top 10 in the portal and top 10 in recruiting again for the third year in a row.
Yep.
So you do that, you are doing your job. You are stacking the roster, and now you've got that upward trajectory with Jackson Arnold,
Yep.
Peyton Bowen, PJ, David Stone. Like you're starting to get these guys. You start putting together a lot more of that.
Yeah.
Kinky. I guess it is the holidays for you, Sooner Cowboys. Mick Kinky sounds like sounds like the dark side of the dollar man.
I was about to say, sounds like they got
like Ronald McDonald started
a special adult Happy Meal or something like that. Put a toy in the box.
Different toys.
Yeah, Can I get the McKinky meal, please?
Oh man, extra cheese, you know it.
Oh man.
All right, let's see. We had 100 likes yet? Let's see. Got 130 watching.
Where we at?
82 likes. Come on, 18 more. I know we got there.
He just got 18.
Eugene Queener. Eugene, love that guy.
Trav, what do you think about the SEC schedule that came out?
I'm so excited.
I know
and I just can't hide it. Yeah, I mean it's what you want out of college football, man. Like it's big time matchups, big time brands. I'm gonna go to every game. I can't wait. I've already got tailgates and remotes set up at Auburn and Ole Miss.
Dang, look at you.
Hey man, time is now. Yes. Yeah. So a lot of people are saying, well, OU fans aren't ready. OU fans aren't ready. I think OU fans will flip that switch. I think when Tennessee comes to town, I think that'll be one of the best environments OU has seen in the last decade.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think the crowds are going to be awesome. I love the schedule. I like how we get a bye before hosting Bama and then finishing the season at LSU, which please be a night game. Oh, it would be so cool. Yeah, Texas, Missouri got easy schedules.
I will say playing us in Georgia back-to-back is rough.
Yeah.
That's about it. Just that week is rough. But
they open SEC play with like Mississippi State at home.
Yeah.
Come on, Jeff Lebby.
Do it.
Jeff Lebby, the only way Jeff Lebby gets back in OU fans' good graces is if he goes and beats Texas as their welcome to the SEC. That would be with Blake Shapen.
Hey. Good old Blake Shapen. Whoever else might come in. But guys, getting more questions. We're about at an hour, so we're, getting ready to hang it up here. But
yep, 10:05. Man, a lot to talk about.
Yeah, it's been a crazy week. I'm sure it's not going to end here. I'm sure we'll, get some more stuff. Hopefully, we'll be talking about EPL tomorrow and the positive light.
Hopefully, we'll add one
Yeah,
offensive line recruit, and 2 portal offensive linemen.
I would love that.
I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, I want to add a tight end and more defensive linemen. I get all that.
Yeah.
But 3 more offensive linemen, 1 recruit and 2 portal.
Yeah.
If we do that, we'll have a good offensive line next year. I just know it. I simply know it.
Yeah. John, we'll talk about the bowl game next week. We'll talk about
We got plenty of time.
Arizona OU. We still got 2 weeks, so we'll do. But man, there's too much to talk about. We have to hit it. So, man, we appreciate you guys. Thanks for everybody coming out. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out. Looks like we're about 90. So hey, let's hit that like button on the way out. Let's get to 100. And we appreciate you guys for being here with us. Trav, you got anything for the people?
Hey man, hit that like button. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all that are listening to this. Not even on the live. We love you. I know it's a bummer because you can't see the live chat afterwards, and that drives a lot of the show. So just more motivation to get here and watch it live, I suppose. Thank you to Crimson Cream NIL for sponsoring it, even though you didn't know you did. Everybody go donate. We need more offensive linemen. We ain't got none. So go donate. See you guys.
We'll see y'all next week. Boomer.